Welcome. I'm Robin. I'm a certified financial planner and a certified private wealth advisor and a wealth manager by profession. Ever wonder how people become wealth managers? We're going to get into that today. Stay with me. Something I find really interesting about the field of financial advising and wealth management is that it's a relatively mature field in terms of average age of a financial advisor or wealth manager. The average age in starting this profession is about 38, and the average age overall of a wealth manager or financial advisor is anywhere from 51 to 56 years old. It's one of a few professions where you actually develop more credibility and more gravitas the older that you are. It's a wonderful career for someone who wants to age into something versus having the risk of aging out of a career. I was at an event earlier this week, and it was a professional event, and a young woman in her early 20s just happened to sit next to me. And we had some time before the speaker took the stage, and we exchanged pleasantries. I explained that I was a wealth manager, and she immediately lit up, which is always very interesting to me. And she said, "How did you become a wealth manager? It's something I'm interested in." It's something I rarely hear from younger people because I think fewer and fewer younger people are interested in the field of financial advising and wealth management. Reason being, it's a difficult field to enter, and the first few years of this field can be very tough and very uncertain. I entered the field in something called the broker-dealer side. And basically, they hire a bunch of people, they train you, they license you, but it is up to you as an individual to build your book of business, find your feet as a business owner within the context of that broker dealer. And it's basically an eat what you kill model. If you don't make money, you don't get a paycheck. I started on the broker dealer model. I started with a company called Edward Jones, and I am eternally grateful to Edward Jones for the opportunity it gave me. It trained me, it educated me, it helped me get set up, but by no means or metrics was it easy. I started off, like many Edward Jones advisors, with something called door knocking. And it's exactly what it sounds like. We go out and we knock doors to find our first clients. And I remember how terrifying, how awful, and how humiliating it felt to have to go door to door to ask people for their business. But I will say this, the clients I got from door knocking were some of my favorite clients. I would go to the ends of the earth with them because I built that relationship from the ground up with those clients. So let's go back to the young lady at the networking event. I found out that she was 22 and she worked for Google. And she was just exploring different career opportunities. So she asked a lot of fantastic questions. And of course, I told her my stories of how I entered the field and, starting off from door knocking and then making the transition over to wealth management. And the question that stuck with me is she asked me, I'm 22, should I become a wealth manager now? And I stopped and I thought for a moment and I said no. Honestly, when I was 22, I was working in a completely different profession. I have a master's in healthcare administration, and I was working for a large healthcare organization as a consultant. Like I said, the average age that people enter this field is 38, which means that people come with several iterations of a career before they actually settle into the career of a financial advisor. Honestly, the iterations of my career before I settled into the career of a financial advisor made me a better financial advisor. Of course, there are people who become wealth managers and financial advisors at age 22 out of college, and some of them become wildly successful, but it's hard. And it's hard because, once again, it's a field that you age into. And if people are going to give you large sums of money to manage, they need to know, like, and trust you. And often that comes with a few gray hairs and some years of experience behind you. Also, at 22, it's hard to have the confidence to go out there and take some of the knocks that you are going to experience as a financial advisor. I can tell you all sorts of stories of things that just didn't go right in my first few years, and you really had to just get up and keep going forward. I think it would have been really hard for my 22-year-old self to take some of those hard knocks. I entered the field at 36, and I had just a much more mature plan and idea and concept of myself at 36 than I did at 22, and I think most people actually do. The advice I ended up giving her was at a 22-year-old, I would be out having fun and exploring. I would be trying on different hats, living in different places, talking to different people, having different experiences, and keeping the idea of becoming a financial advisor in the back of my mind. So, the three pieces of advice I would tell someone who is considering becoming a financial advisor is don't enter the field too early. It's going to be much harder for most people to enter this field at 22 than it is at 32 or even 42. The second piece of advice that I would give you is don't pursue credentials too early, and you really shouldn't be paying for your own credentials. I have two credentials, a CFP, Certified Financial Planner, and a CPWA, Certified Private Wealth Advisor. I didn't pay for either credential. My employer paid for both of those credentials. I got both of those credentials when I was employed and when I was actually using the knowledge associated with those credentials for my clients' benefit. If you pursue either of those credentials and you're not working in the field and you're not regularly using that information, I 110% guarantee you will forget most of that information if there's a lag between when you obtain the credential and when you actually start in the field. For many of those credentials, including the CFP and CPWA, you have to have documented experience servicing clients in order to get the credential. So, she was asking whether she should take some CFP classes or this, that. I was like, no, I would not do that unless you are 110% certain that this is what you want to do for life and you can get some other organization or entity to foot the bill for you. The third thing that I would say, if you're considering a career as a wealth manager or financial advisor, find a wealth manager, find a financial advisor, and ask them about their experience and to mentor you. The reality of how I got into this field was that I had a financial advisor with Edward Jones. And one of the first questions I asked when I sat down to talk with him more extensively was, how did he become a financial advisor? And that one question changed the trajectory of my life for the better. He was very eager to share his journey with me. He was also very eager to help me get hired on by Edward Jones and get through the training and the testing process to start with Edward Jones. That one question changed everything and opened the doors of opportunity for me as a financial advisor and as a wealth manager. After 7 glorious years with Edward Jones, I decided that I wanted to focus more on wealth management. So I left Edward Jones at that point and joined a private wealth firm. And that's where I am today, doing private wealth work as a wealth manager. And it's been a wonderful career, and I find that I have discovered my career calling. I really do enjoy my work. I really do like the people that I work for. I deal with people and their money and their emotions all day, every day. It's the hardest job I've ever had, but I genuinely like the people that I serve, and I genuinely enjoy the work that I do. I would really love to see more people doing this work, especially younger people. I would love to see more women and more people of color entering into the field. If you can make it 5 years in this industry, you've developed yourself, you've developed a book of business, you've gotten some credentials behind your name, you can write your own checks and you can go in a multitude of different directions, and it is wonderful. But I will caution anybody who's interested in entering this field, especially on the broker-dealer model side, it is a very hard model to work under. You have to psychologically be ready for that adventure, and it's going to be tough. But once you get past those first initial years and you can decide your own fate, it is glorious. There you have it. After about a half an hour conversation with this young 22-year-old woman, I shared my business card and encouraged her to reach out to me now or in the future if she has questions about the field of financial advising or wealth management and the experiences of joining the field. I really do encourage you, if you are curious about the work that I do as a financial advisor and wealth manager, to reach out to someone that is actually doing the work and interview them about their day and their experience entering the field. Experiences vary, they enter through other avenues into the field. Bottom line, we need more people doing this work, and it's going to become more critical in the future. It's a fantastic opportunity, especially if you're smart, you're very people driven, and you want to work with individuals, families, businesses, and helping them come up with financial solutions. It's an outstanding field. And there you have it. My thoughts on becoming a financial advisor and wealth manager. If you found this video useful or interesting, please like, please share, and please subscribe.